Welcome, everybody, to episode 17 of the Canuckleheads podcast. My name is Justin. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Wes. And we owe you another explanation. We missed an episode. We didn't miss an episode. We just couldn't record last week.
Yeah. COVID protocol.
COVID.
It was him last time, me this time. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so 100% for getting COVID on the Canuckleheads podcast. Taken after the real Vancouver Canucks. So we're just going to start off by going over the games. Then we'll get into the news of this week, because there's actually been a lot going on in the Canucks world just outside of games. So
yeah.
The first game we had, if we get back in the Wayback Machine here, was January 18th, 2022, in Nashville. Demko got the start. Remember when that happened? Remember when Demko played?
That's been a long, yeah.
So Bo was in COVID protocol for this one, and so we had to shuffle some lines, and we had Hogs and Pods up with Petey on a line, which played really good this game.
They did, yeah.
But we'll get into it here. First period, we had a scrap. Myers and McCarron, I believe it was. This was a while ago now, it feels like. So It's hard to really remember. We did watch the highlights, but yeah, just a solid scrap from two big guys. Nothing really major happened there. 0-0 after the first. Then in the second, we had a goal from Elias, the alien Pettersson. Great pass from Demko, actually, to send it up to the Hog at the blue line.
Yeah.
Chipped one over to Podkolzin, who set up Petey, who was in on a breakaway, and puts it home on a rebound. So it was good to see Petey get one, because like we all know, he was struggling a lot, and
he was completely snake bitten even for a while, playing good but still just not getting goals. But now he's starting to get those goals,
and especially with Bo out of the lineup, he was playing center again, right?
Yeah.
So after playing wing and starting to look a little bit better, it was big. And then again, that line dominated. Pettersson, Hoglander, and Podkolzin, they were great, which kind of theme throughout this week is we found certain line combinations that work, and this was the first one that really started rolling, and it's good to see, and we'll get into it later on in the episode why.
They did shake that line up later on in the week, which I was kind of happy with as well.
Then we had another scrap. Kyle Burrows and Tanner Janot, I believe it is, from the Preds.
You're right, yeah.
So this one was 1-1 after two. And then in the third period, we had a power play goal from Brock Besser. Not sniping 101 this time, just a nice deflection into the net.
Yeah, which he's been scoring some greasy ones this season, which I kind of like.
Yeah, he likes.
He's showing wrinkles to his game. He doesn't always have to snipe to score goals, which is nice.
Yeah, this was just him in front of the net, winning a battle and tipping the puck home. I can't remember who the goalie was for the Predators in this one, but he just kind of I don't think expected that pass, because he didn't really move or anything. So worked for us. Then we had a goal from Lamico, who just kind of chipped it. Riddick was the goalie.
Yeah.
That's
Former Calgary goalie.
Just chipped it up and over him. Kind of a weird one. Good shift from the line of Lamico, Mott, and Dickinson, which got a little bit of a shake-up too later in the week here.
Yeah, which I was telling Justin off camera, I've been really happy with that line as of late, because once they come behind the net, they just chip it out in front for those greasy little plays out front, which I'm really happy about, because that was missing from the lineup for a little while. It was just like those little chip out and into the crease passes where you just kind of have to whack at it to get a goal.
It did seem like most of our guys were trying to do like board to board, like cross the ice. Passes that were getting picked off all the time.
Sometimes just those little chip out in front ones where you got to slam at them. Sometimes that's how you got to get goals in the National Hockey League, and that line's good at it.
So the Vancouver Canucks won this one 3-1 in Nashville. So good start. And then it was downhill from there. So this was Florida was in Vancouver. This was January 21st, 22nd.
Granted, we're playing the best teams in the frickin' league.
And there's some things going on here that we will get into. So Spencer Martin got the start in this game, who's starting goalie for the Abbotsford Canucks,
who I knew nothing about until this game.
Me neither.
And he shocked me. He is playing very, very good.
So this game we had Bo, Miller, Demko, Garland, and Yaroslav Halak all in COVID protocol. So already you're missing three of your top four scorers, your top two centers, your starting Vezina caliber goaltender, and your backup goalie, who's been very good also. So And then you got the Florida Panthers,
Tough
arguably
odds.
the best team in the league,
Tough odds.
coming into the barn at home. So
Yeah.
we had a goal from Chason on a double deflection. Actually, it was a point shot from Hughes that Pearson tipped, and then it kind of caught Chason's jersey and went in the net. So
I started off chirping Chason. Then I got changed my tune a little bit on Chason because I was kind of happy with his game. This I did not like. Was he freaking celebrated like it was a tape-to-tape pass and he shelved it. I don't like that at all. The puck went off your elbow. You were lucky to even have that count as your goal. And he celebrates, like puts his stick and hand up in there like he just scored one tape to tape. I'm like, whoa, okay there, buddy.
I don't think it actually hit his body. I think it just snagged on his jersey.
Literally just off the elbow and in. And he celebrates. I was like, what? I don't like that.
Big goal for a guy who doesn't score many.
I don't like that though. I mean, it's the National Hockey League. You got to sell you when you score, but that was brutal.
So this was 1-0 after 1, 1-0 after 2. And Spencer Martin playing great,
against a great team.
Yeah, and so the Canucks lose this one 2-1 in overtime.
What I liked about Spencer Martin, he showed a lot of confidence in his game.
This one, everybody was fully expecting a 7-1 win for the Panthers to come out and just crush, right?
The Panthers have been doing that to everyone as of late, 4 or more goals every game lately.
Yeah.
So for Spencer Martin to kind of shut it down and just say you're not getting 7 on me tonight, that was a big deal.
So this one, even though the Canucks lost, they got a point, but this was a gutsy team effort. You don't take a point from the one of the best 3 teams in the league.
I think they're the best right now.
Missing all those key players.
Yeah.
Missing your 2 A and B goalie.
Yeah.
This was a gutsy team effort.
Yeah.
So, good on the boys for this one.
Which Hunt has been good. Bailey has been good. He just shows bursts of speed that, he doesn't make a ton of threat when he has the puck on his stick. But when he starts blasting into the zone like that, it's something to worry about. You know what I mean? He definitely has the attention of another team once he turns the Jets on.
Yeah, he's got some NHL speed. So So let's keep rolling here. So next, we got the St. Louis Blues in Vancouver, January 23rd, 2022. And guess what? Spencer Martin, COVID protocol. The hero of the last game.
Yep. Already gone.
So we had Mikey DiPietro starting this game. And
he showed a lot of improvement.
Ryland Toth was, I believe he was the E-Bug. I remember hearing during the game they said he was just the backup. Mm-hmm. And there was an E-Bug in the house, but then I've heard also that he was the E-Bug, so I'm not sure exactly how that worked, but he was the backup goalie that game. So in the first, we had a goal from Pearson, right after a 2-man power play expired. A great pass from Chason.
Yeah.
So the Pearson-Chason dreaded combination strikes twice in 2 games here.
Yeah.
And this was also the 100th career assist for Elias Pettersson. So good job, Petey.
Yep, already.
Yeah. And then after that, it was just basically the Blues.
Yeah.
Canucks were okay in this one, but the Blues are rolling. Husso, I believe, was the goalie's name for the St. Louis Blues, was great. The Canucks had some chances. He shut the door.
Yeah, he did.
Some things we should talk about here before we move on from this game too, though. I saw on Twitter a little bit people kind of trashing Mikey DiPietro, and that's not fair.
They shouldn't,
because this kid's 2 starts in the NHL were maybe the weirdest 2 starts you will ever see in a career, right? His first one was because both goalies were hurt. He was an emergency recall, got thrown to the Wolves in San Jose as a 19-year-old, right? Yep. And he's a little guy too, so he's got to learn how to play his positioning.
And it's funny that you mentioned that game, because I was down on DiPietro. After that, I was like, man, this kid's not ready, this and that. But then Justin reminded me, man, he's a young kid. He literally got thrown to the Wolves. And 100% he did. And in this game that he just played for us, he showed a ton of improvement.
Yeah, he was a noticeably different goalie than last time.
100%.
Which is impressive, because he hasn't played a lot in the last year and a half because of COVID and everything. So.
And go ahead and look at his stats when he's not in the NHL. He's freaking shuts the door.
He's a winner everywhere he's gone.
100%. Goalies, sometimes they take time to progress. And he's probably one of those goalies that, hey, give him a couple more years, he's going to be unreal.
Well, and the big thing with him too, right, is you look at the average size of a goalie in the NHL, it's got to be 6'2", 6'3",
At
right?
least,
Demko will make saves just because he's tall.
He's big.
DiPietro has to learn how to use his height to not affect him negatively.
Yeah,
right?
he needs to take the school of Jonathan Quick.
So it's even more difficult for him.
Yeah.
Because he's an undersized goalie for the NHL. So there's none of this garbage that Mikey DiPietro can't be an NHL goalie.
No, he 100% can be and will be one day.
Let's just give the kid some time and again, like his first start was an emergency recall. His second start was basically the same thing. Like Spencer Martin tested positive like a couple hours before the game. So here's the St. Louis Blues kid. Go out and do what you can on a Canucks team that again was missing most of their players.
Yeah,
like
a lot of key pieces.
So hard to fault Mikey DiPietro for this one. And, he's clearly got the Canuckleheads support. Mikey, we believe in you.
100%.
So, 3-1 loss for the Canucks in St. Louis there. And then on to the next game. We had Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers in Vancouver, January 25th, 2022.
Which, I'm just going to say this now. After the first period, I thought we were catching a dub.
I kind of did too a little bit here, so we'll get into it. Our Lord and Savior Spencer Martin was back from COVID protocol.
Which I was pumped because right now, everyone that's been on COVID protocol, they're not coming back for a while. Instantly, boom, he went on protocol, came right back, which I was really happy about because he played super confident, super good game, so it was nice to see him come right back.
Yeah, and then in this one too, we also had JT Miller back from COVID protocol too, so a nice addition there.
Yep.
0-0 after one. In the second, Elias the Alien Pettersson. Nice moves to the neutral zone and just sniped at top corner. Like
beautiful
rocket
goal.
Of a shot. This was a vintage Petey shot here.
Yeah. Was that the one where it was through the legs of the defender? Just real far out too, like right above the hashies and just ripped one.
Yeah, just a rocket.
Vintage Petey goal. Straight up alien stuff. That's what we want to see.
Yeah. And then we had another goal from Mater McDavid. Who, a shorthanded goal. JT Miller stops a Connor McDavid goal from going in and then springs Mott on a breakaway.
And what do we always say about Mott?
Convenient that you call him Mater McDavid here.
Yeah.
Or ironic, I guess, because against Connor McDavid and the high-flying Edmonton Oilers.
100%. And JT set the whole thing up. And Mott has still, since we've been talking about this, he's constantly picking off passes and getting those breakouts. This time JT sets it up, springs them, and he makes it count. Beautiful goal between the wickets. Unreal. And I don't know if it was just under the pad or if it was right through the 5-hole, but it was an unreal goal.
It was a nice goal, yeah.
He tried a similar shot later on in the game and didn't work out.
Yeah, had another breakaway. It was 2-1 at that point, or maybe 2-2. I can't remember. But Spencer Martin kind of gave up a bad one in this one. Hard to fault him, right? He's been so good and got peppered with shots in this game. The Oilers kind of didn't really show up to this game till about 10 minutes left in the third, and then
they poured it on.
Then Draisaitl scored a nasty one, which again you can't fault Spencer Martin. It was after a full power play.
Yeah.
Plus some added time. Like I think Ekman Larson might have been out there for like 3 minutes. I think, or maybe it was Mott. I can't remember. But somebody was out there for a long time. The whole unit was out there forever. But
and Martin had stopped a ton of shots off McDavid, a ton of shots off Draisaitl. It's not like it was his first shot and just scores. No, they were peppering Martin, and Martin was doing a great job shutting the door.
And then this one went to overtime, and in overtime you had a 2-on-1 with Connor McDavid. Hard to blame Spencer Martin for not stopping that one, right?
Yeah, you can't.
He was fantastic in this game, Spencer Martin. I think had 50 shots, stopped 47 of them. You can't ask more from a goalie.
No.
I think this was his 6th career game, maybe his 5th. Ridiculous. So 3-2 overtime loss in Edmonton. Spencer Martin picking up points in each of the games he's played. So helping us out a little bit. And it sucks too for all the COVID to happen right now, because we talked about this before. This was a big week. These were all Western Conference teams that we had a chance to get ahead of.
Games we needed to win.
So to lose all these players, it's still chipping away at a little bit of points here and there, but not outright winning. With
these players gone, not gonna lie, I was really happy with the way the Vancouver Canucks played.
Yeah.
We did play good games. Even though we were missing some key players.
Pretty much every game we played since the last episode we recorded had the potential for the Canucks to be blown out, and it never happened.
Yeah.
It showed a lot of guts for the guys that were on the ice. So. Then we have the last game that we'll go over this week here. January 27th, Vancouver at Winnipeg. A whopping 250 people in the arena for this one due to Manitoba COVID protocols.
Yeah.
Very weird. Like, I don't know why 250 people like it.
Such a weird number. Like, you can fit up to like 15,000 people in that arena. Like, put 500 in there. Like,
or like a couple thousand. I don't
like,
really understand it.
What are the numbers? Yeah.
Like 250 people? Like,
yeah. Super weird.
So this game, Spencer Martin started. Halak and Garland were back from COVID protocol. In the first, we had a power play goal from JT Miller. Just a quick shot from the bumper, the Bo Horvat position. And a good pass from Brock. Good quick pass right out to him and right past Hellebuck.
Didn't take his time, just made the pass and got it done.
Yeah, so this was 1-1 after the first. Then in the second, we had a goal from JT Miller. Just on the rush. Great pass from Besser again. Mm-hmm. And just, whipped it past Hellebuck.
That was the amazing stretch pass. Across the zone, just frickin' ripped their home.
Yeah. And then...
great goal.
Deja vu, we had a goal from JT Miller for the hat trick. Natty Hattie from Miller. Just snapped at 5-hole on Hellebuck. Just crushing it this game was Miller. And
he could have had 4 or 5 in this game.
Yeah.
Like, he was lights out.
Yeah, so this was 3-1 after the second for the Canucks. Then in the third, we had a power play goal from Brock Besser.
Yeah. A little bit of a weird one, a little bit of a chip shot into the top corner, but got her done.
But it was a good job from Best to track the puck and like get he had 2 shots to get his rebound back too and just get one on net. So
and JT kind of went down with a little bit. It looked like he was hurt a little bit and kind of feeling up his ribs on the bench. I was a little bit worried because he was on a roll this game, but come back strong and finish the game.
Yep. Then we had a scrap. Luke Shen and Adam Lowry, Kyle. I can't remember who's the dad and who's the son.
I think Kyle's the dad and Adam is the player. But
I'm sorry to the Lowrys.
Who cares?
For that, but
Winnipeg off with your heads. I don't give a shit about your team.
And then lastly, we had a goal from Elias the Alien Pettersson, another wicked wrist shot.
Yeah.
Who Petey's back.
Yeah, 100%.
Petey's not like final form Super Saiyan 5 Petey going crazy, but he's way better than what he has been lately.
He's scoring goals again, and that's all we ask.
And the big thing for me, too, is he's not just scoring goals, he's confident with the puck.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Wherever he is on the ice.
I think he's like 5 goals in his last 6 games, or 4 goals in his last 5 games, somewhere around there, and like that's all we want.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for. He's definitely catching his stride when it comes to his shooting. And he's definitely just he's showing us why he had such the hype that he's had in the past.
Yeah.
Some of those goals he scored were just absolute rockets.
Yeah, and in the Nashville game, he hit wired a post too, right? Could have
had another one.
Yeah.
Couple goal games.
So, first career win for Spencer Martin, who again was good this game. So, congrats to you, Spencer.
And JT Miller went and picked the puck up and gave it to him. Love to see that.
4 points from Miller in this game too. So.
Big game,
JT,
monster game.
Up in that trade value for when we ship him to the Rangers.
Don't say that. We're keeping him and we're giving him a raise, a healthy one.
So that'll be it for the games this week. Let's just talk about Miller right now, Wes.
Yeah.
I think he's getting traded.
No.
Don't
be silly. He showed in the absence of Bo Horvat, he's a true leader on this team. The A stays on that jersey. And I think we give him at least a $1.5 million raise.
The A will stay on that jersey on his next team. So hear me out. I'm in both ends of the thing, right? Like, if we keep Miller, I'm all right with it. It just depends on his next contract. He's going to get a big raise.
Yeah.
Probably can't swing it. You'd have to re-sign Bo and Miller in the same offseason.
Yeah.
You got to sign Besser this year.
Yeah. I feel like Bo is good where he's at, like for pay. But Millsy...
Try telling that to Bo.
I know. But Millsy, he needs a little bump. Just a little one. Little 1.5 mil. Little bump.
Okay, look. Your logic is wrong on this. Especially, he has been, a top 10 scorer since he came to Vancouver.
Yep.
None of those guys make 5.25. None of those guys make...
Yeah.
Look at the McKinnon deal.
Yeah,
it looks as good as it is. But his next one, he's going to be up there with Matthews and Marner.
100%.
Miller could be a $9 million plus kind of guy.
on a certain team. With us, definitely not.
You can't swing it, but
I think he understands that, and I think that he'll be willing to take a little less to stay on a team where he's a leader. Like, you've seen how he got treated on Tampa Bay. He was kind of just third line, like, we'll just toss you. In reality, he's a great player, and on a team like ours, we need a guy like JT Miller. So, and I feel like that kind of boosts his confidence too. Like, I am a great player. I should be getting these positions that I'm getting. And take your little bump and just keep playing with the Vancouver Canucks. That's what I hope. For his career, though, he's going to be looking for a hefty raise.
Yeah.
He deserves it. I just hope he stays with the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, and, like, we got to think of it, like, logically, right? Like, I don't want him to get traded.
No.
That's not, like, I'm not saying get him out because he sucks or anything like that. It's just the position the team is in, right? He's 29.
Yeah.
Bo's still, like, 27, 28. Like, so he still fits in with the core, right? Like, that when the team is ready to compete. Yeah. Miller might be on the outside of that looking in, like, kind of depending on how we can fix the blue line and everything and what, like, Rutherford and some of the new hires do, which we'll go over shortly.
Which Rutherford, he's a bit of an aggressive GM, or I guess president.
Yeah.
He will be willing to make some moves like this.
And so with Miller, if you ship him out, you can get a lot back.
You can get a good,
Like there've been a lot of things going on Twitter, right? Like it'll be a first rounder, a grade A prospect, and another like former first round prospect kind of thing.
Yeah, but with how young our team is, I don't like hearing all this first round pick, this and that. I want an established NHL player for JT Miller.
That's what you're getting back, though. Like you're getting multiple pieces back for him. You're not just trading him for a first round pick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's got to be someone established.
So you will get like a decent haul for him, and that's what could really set your franchise up, right? Like it's got to be the right trade for sure.
Yeah.
Because Miller is a big part of the team.
Huge part.
Yeah, if it happens, like who knows, they might re-sign him. Like it's just kind of speculation right now. It's kind of the big news and
fun to talk about for sure.
And to think about what you could get back for a guy like that too, right? Because he, especially if you trade him this year,
he's one of the biggest pieces on our team, and to get him off of our hands, it's not going to be easy. Like you're going to have to give us something.
Yeah, and if you send him to a contender this year, right? Like he's got a very manageable contract for another year and a half.
Yeah. He's
a great face-off man.
Which
he can play the wing.
He kind of more proved this season.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of shaky last season. Like, is he better on the wing? Is he better at center? This season, he proved, like, I'm a legit centerman. If you put me there.
See, I like him taking draws. I still think he's the best on the wing.
Yeah.
And
that's what the coaches thought, too.
Yeah. That's why when you see him with the lotto line, like, he'll take a draw, and then PD plays center.
Yeah.
He kills penalties, right? He's just a character, like heart and soul, like
wears his heart on his sleeve type player
kind of guy, like what you would want to add to a team like Colorado.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
100%.
Bowen Byram.
If we got that, I'd be ecstatic.
But yeah, like you can get a lot back for him. It's just a thing to.
Because our blue line needs some work.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
and those are some contracts that you got to work on, like getting somebody out of there.
Yeah,
potentially.
Which it just sucks to talk about this now because, like, with the absence of Bo Horvat, like JT Miller has stepped up and shown like I can be a leader on this team. You boys follow me. I'll pot 3 in tonight, and you just love to see it.
But if you think about it in the big picture, right? That's good for the Vancouver Canucks.
100%.
And good for the Vancouver Canucks.
100%. I get it.
More if you trade them.
I get it. I 100% get it.
But yeah, that's just kind of the JT Miller rumor's been out there a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath that he sticks around. I'm not hoping he leaves. So.
Yeah. No, and it's one of those things, like with the new management that we have, like they're not scared to make those types of moves.
Yeah, you've seen Rutherford do it before, like traded James Neal out of Pittsburgh, like things like that. So
yeah.
But yeah, maybe we'll kick some JT Miller trade ideas around for next episode, and we'll
maybe get some picks going.
Yeah, we'll think of something, and we'll come back next week, and we'll talk about our JT Miller trades here.
I'm not mad at that.
Potentials.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so on to other news in Canucks world. We have a new, since we spoke to you last time anyways, we have a new assistant general manager and a new general manager. So some big hires by the Canucks here. Yeah. New GM, Patrick Alvin, I believe is how you say it, Alvin? Something like that. He's Swedish.
Yeah.
Was a scout for the Penguins for a long time. Worked with Jim Rutherford, I think, like 15 years.
Which kind of funny that we're getting all these people that used to work for the Penguins.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the people that he probably rubbed elbows with and knows and trusts. So
Yeah, but also too, it's nice to have Rutherford around to kind of show him the ropes for a little bit, because
100%.
Rutherford has built cup-winning teams, right?
Experience.
This guy, Patrick Allvin, has been there for cup-winning teams.
Yeah.
People talk about his draft record, which is kind of not great, but to me, he's not coming here to draft, right? Like, you have a scouting staff for this.
Yeah.
Uh,
We had a good drafter, but not a good general manager. I'd rather have it the other way around. At this point.
Yeah, you need both, but
We've got young players. I'm not concerned about getting young players. We have a ton of that. We need some experienced freaking players like a JT Miller, like a Bo Horvat, like even a Tyler Myers who's got OEL. Like, these guys have experience in the National Hockey League. Those are the types of guys we need right now.
I wouldn't mind some young prospect defensemen in the system.
A defenseman, I'm not worried. Like, we need defensemen, 100%. So,
but yeah, so like the drafting history of Allvin doesn't really concern me a lot, because they're gonna have a different scouting style. Like, that was his job, to be a scout, and he wasn't great at it. It's not his job to be a scout anymore.
Yeah,
I get that
different
he
position.
has kind of the final say because he's the GM, but he's got different information coming in. So it's something like every time there's a new GM, you just have to wait. We have to wait like 10 years down the road to see if he was a good drafter, you know?
Yeah.
So who knows? That part doesn't worry me.
Yeah.
Then we had a new assistant GM, Emily Castonguay, I believe is how you say her name. Former agent, Alexei Lafreniere's agent, Antoine Roussel's agent, former agent.
Yeah.
Not super familiar with her as a person, right? Because you never really see scouts or like agents. There's never really interviews with agents or anything like that. But from everything I've heard and her interviews and everything, she just seems like a smart person and like a good hire. I like a lot of the things that she says. Like, you have to give a player like the best like surroundings to be the best player they can be, and like certain things that I think the team was doing back in 2011 when they were the best team in the league, and best team in like franchise history, that I think they need, and she realizes that they need and want to get back to that. So
100%. Everything I've heard in the other media outlets is just positive about her. So I think it was a great hire, and I'm excited to see what she can do.
Yeah, and very cool to have like the first female hired like assistant GM in Canucks history. And like, again, we talked about this like back in the Kyle Beach thing, like how there's that old boys way of thinking. Which
got to freshen that up.
Yeah, which bit. Worked for a time, right? Like, you kind of build a bruiser team in like back in the day and stuff. Now it's like we're in that age of kind of a new way of thinking about things, and this just helps do that. So good on the Canucks for making a good hire. And she said herself that she wasn't hired because she's a woman. But she was hired because she's like the right person for the job.
She has hockey knowledge. She knows what the hell she's doing, and she's going to do a good job at it.
So again, good couple hires by the Canucks.
Which you got to believe too. She's going to have a bit of a chip on her shoulder. Like, I have to perform here. I have to show that they made the right decision. And I think she'll do that.
Yeah, I'm excited for the way that they're constructing the management, and like hopefully it leads to good teams again, because we've seen the last couple of seasons, like, and not because of Benning or Green's fault, just the way the world is with COVID and everything, like management was very minimal. Like there was one assistant GM, I think.
It's like, crazy the amount of people we have on our team now. It's like, holy smokes, we got a lot of hockey minds, and we'll be able to do some damage. Yeah,
so good job by the Canucks. Good job by the Aquilinis, like shelling out some money here.
Yeah, they were not scared to rebuild the entire management team, and they did that.
You get the right people in here. So yes, exciting things. And from a couple sources that I've seen on like Twitter and everything, like they're not done yet, so we'll see who else keeps coming in. There might be another assistant general manager. Yeah. A lot of people think maybe Ryan Johnson. Sorry. Former Vancouver Canuck, current GM of the Abbotsford Canucks. So that'd be cool to see. But again, it starts from the top down. So getting the right pieces in place is like the important part. You have like similar things to how Rutherford had the Penguins, right? Like you got your Bo and your Petey and Besser, Hughes.
Got your key pieces.
Which is kind of like your Crosby, Malkin, Letang. Like, maybe a little less skilled than those guys. But
Hey, we're
maybe
trying
a little more
here.
skilled than those guys.
Yeah,
so,
they have potential.
So you have your pieces.
Throw Besser in there. Come on now.
I think I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making sure.
So you got your pieces that are like the hardest thing to get, right? Like,
yeah.
Hughes looks like he's evolving into a like number one defenseman.
Yeah.
All around defenseman, not just an offensive guy.
Which I've been happy he's been getting time on the penalty kill as well, because he's really starting to show like I'm a defensive defenseman as well as an offensive defenseman.
Yeah.
He has the full game. He's showing it now.
And you have Petey who looks like he's coming around now too, right? So we have like the hard things to get in hockey.
Yeah.
Potential franchise goalie, potential number one defenseman, potential number one franchise center.
And
right?
this is the thing. Those other players, I think you can say potential. I think Thatcher Demko, hands down, is a franchise goalie.
I would agree with you.
He is a
also not getting
stud.
enough recognition around the league, I don't think.
No, 100% he's not.
A lot of people don't have him. Like, I know they're not going to the Olympics anymore, but he wasn't really considered for an Olympic roster.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, like Jack Campbell, I seen his name. Like, no shots against Jack Campbell, having a great year, but like, it's just because he's in Toronto. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Thatcher Demko was in Toronto, you would not hear the end of it.
If
right?
I could pick one out of two goalies, it's Thatcher Demko all day. I don't care who's up against them. I'm picking Thatcher Demko.
And Gibson on Team USA would be ridiculous. And also, too, I've seen some rankings for the Vezina. Top 5. Demko not in there.
And that's
ridiculous.
That fires me up.
Like, you look at a couple games, like, yes, there's the Colorado-Vegas game where it was 7-1.
When you
no
have
help.
Yeah, when you have no support from your players, it doesn't give you, like, the biggest stage to stand on. But, trust me, you put him in net with any of these teams that are just buzzing right now, he's shutting games down, 0 goals going in. Like, even now we've been playing better in front of him, and look what we've been doing. Like, he's been doing great for us, and I think he just definitely doesn't get the recognition around the league that he deserves.
Yeah, I think you can tell a lot of it is guys just looking at numbers, and, you see his aren't, in that top tier, but he is. He's a top 5 goalie in the league.
Yeah, even with how bad we were at one point, look at his save percentage. It's great.
Yeah,
and that's with those bad games.
I'm sure if you take just the Bruce Boudreau chunk of his stats, they're probably ridiculous.
Oh, 100%.
I haven't looked them up personally, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were top in the league.
He was at one point this season ranked the number 1 goalie in the league, and it was funny because as soon as he hit it, I was chirping to my buddies at work, oh yeah, well, we got the best goalie in the league. They're like, no, you don't, this and that. And I told him, look it up. He looked it up. He's like, damn, Demko's got some stats. I was like, yeah, he does.
Yeah. So NHL. Put some respect on Thatcher's name.
100%. And I seen you finally added on EA Sports an 89 Thatcher Demko. Bring that up to a 90. Come on now. He deserves it. And then the Connor Garland thing. Got to mention this real quick. They gave him an 84 card. I chirped him. They gave him an 84. Bring it up to an 86. Come on
still
now.
A little low for Garland.
Yeah, 100%. 86 card. He's got that all day.
Okay, so next we'll go over our score predictions for the week. Tonight is January 29th. Canucks are in Calgary, the game I should have been at, which is unfortunate, but I'll enjoy watching from home.
Yeah.
This will be a tough one. Jacob Markstrom against Thatcher Demko.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe not a whole lot of goals scored tonight.
And it's a Dem show that hasn't played in a little bit now.
Against a good Flames team.
And that's the thing, right? Demko, it takes him 3-4 games to get warmed up and get in the zone. So it's going to be tough, but I think the boys play well in front of them. I think we catch the dub. What's your score prediction?
3-2 overtime for the Flames.
Ooh, I like that. That's actually not bad at all. I see it being a bit of a low scorer as well. And that's the thing. We've been going to a lot of pass regulation games as of late, but that's with Spencer Martin in net, so let's hope Demko comes out fired up. I'm going 3-2 Vancouver Canucks in regulation.
Regulation, all right.
Yeah.
Next, we have the Canucks in Chicago on Monday the 31st. You first, sir?
Chicago.
Yep.
Off with your head, Chicago. You're frickin' done, bud. I'll go 4-2 Vancouver Canucks.
5-1 Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, shut the door. Let's go.
Excuse me. And then Tuesday, February 1st, Canucks in Nashville.
This is a game that we need to win. We need to prove to these guys we can beat your team with ease. I see it. that's a tough game to score. I see it be a bit of a low scorer again. What do you think?
I'm going to repeat. I'm going 3-1 Canucks.
3-1?
Yeah.
I like that.
3-1 in overtime.
I wanted to say somewhere around there. But they got some firepower.
Reds, yeah, they're not a bad team.
I hate saying 3-2 every time. Like, that just triggers me.
It's just the normal hockey score.
100%. We'll go 4-2 for Vancouver Canucks. I hate to throw those predictions out there, but
so then player of the week is a little bit difficult because I don't remember the games from last. They're all kind of a big blur since the last time we did it.
We were sick, plus watching a ton of games in a row.
So I'm kind of gonna make a bit of an exception for this week. I'm going Spencer Martin and JT Miller as my Canucks of the week.
I like that a lot. Honestly, both guys were unreal. But I gotta put my boy up, Brock Besser, Canuck of the week. His game all around has been solid. It's not all about scoring goals. He was definitely playing the body more, definitely playing hard on his stick, making beautiful passes. I was really, really happy with his game. Plus, Bruce Boudreau was really, really happy with his game, which I love to see. So,
you should do me a favor because I kind of fucked this one up a little bit. You should go Besser and Petey for your Canuck of the week. Because I should have picked Petey instead of Miller, but just because Petey played more.
Points have been way up.
Petey was good, and Besser was good too.
110%, and I always just throw praise at my boy Brock Besser just because I'm always just analyzing his play every game. Petey and Besser, 100%. Spencer Martin and JT Miller, all four players were phenomenal in this absence of Garland and Bow and Thatcher and you know the list.
Everybody. 4 Canucks of the week this week because we had 2 weeks.
Because we can.
Yeah, it's our show. We make the rules. One thing actually that we should talk about too is that the fourth line. You kind of brought it up earlier. When we started talking about it, it was Lammikko, Dickinson, and Mott were on the line. But the one that's really been going is Highmore, Mott, and Lammikko.
Well, they have been unreal.
And they have been really good. And I think now that tonight everybody's kind of back from COVID, it gives us more of a solid team lineup, right? Because that's a set line. That'll be your third or fourth line.
Yep.
You can go with the Lotto line.
And you can kind of pair that line up against anybody. Bruce proved that.
Yeah, he's been rolling them against whoever.
Yep, because they have a ton of speed. They're making hits. They're winning board battles. They're dishing out in front of the net, making it ugly. The line has been great. And, we know what to expect out of Mott. But, since Boudreau's came in, Highmore has looked great. Lammikko has looked great. He's been scoring goals. Bailey's ripping around the ice. He could always be potted on that line. It's a great line for us.
And to me, too, the big thing with that line is they're all playing within themselves.
Yeah.
They complement each other. They're all kind of the same player. We talk about this, too, just higher,
skill
tiers
levels
up of the same player, basically.
Yeah.
And like you said, too, they're making 3-4 foot passes instead of trying to go cross ice like a first line or something like that.
Petey and Best, they just try and make stuff just look way too smooth, way too nice. And it's I get it. They're high level players, but these guys, they're showing we can just chip it around and make it dirty and score goals.
Yeah, they're taking pucks to the net. They're winning board battles. They're taking pucks behind the net and setting small manageable passes up.
Yeah. That
are working a lot, and they've been a really solid line. And if that's your fourth or third line, then you go Lotto line. You could have Bo, Garland, and Podkolzin, or you could go Petey with Podkolzin and Hoglander, and
you can play those skilled lines.
Yeah, you can really split up your skilled players too to get them away from certain matchups.
Yep.
And it just
when it opens the door.
Yeah, when you can have good chemistry like that, it really makes things easier on the team as a whole. Especially before too, when Petey's kind of struggling, you can get him away from top pairing defenseman or a shutdown center that's just on him the whole game.
Yep.
So it's just another nice thing to have.
It's a good wrinkle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we haven't really seen many line combinations stick together that much, outside the Lotto line a couple years ago.
Up, yeah.
And even Pearson and Bo are not a line. It's just two guys that always played together. So it just helps free things up throughout the lineup. So
give this line a couple more weeks and look at the plus minus on this line, and I bet it's positive.
If Mott's still here.
Yeah, 110%. But I just feel like they've been so good, and like whenever they're on the ice, they're constantly keeping the play in the other end. Even if it comes across the red line, like they're constantly just dumping pucks, using their speed to get on the pucks, making it dirty in their end. Like they're buzzing.
Yeah, like the goal in St. Louis that Tanner Pearson scored, that was after a 2-man power play, was because Matthew Highmore drew 2 penalties on that shift.
A double.
Yeah, one guy, and so they're pesky and they're just hard on pucks, and they're all quick players. Like they skate good, so it's a really fun line to watch. From like when Highmore got here, you and I weren't really sold on him.
No.
When Lamco got here, felt like it was just kind of a throw in for the Levy trade. So which it's so funny. Go look in prior podcasts. I'm just running my mouth about Highmore. Oh, all he is fast, this and that. Which that's kind of what Justin Bailey is right now. A subtle chirp there, but Highmore has showed since Boudreau's came in, like his game. He's showing what a player he is. Yeah, he's found a role.
100%.
And that kind of sums it up for this week's episode. Actually, we got through it quicker than I thought, just because we had quite a backlog of games to talk about.
Yeah.
Sorry for missing a couple weeks there. Hopefully we're kind of all done with COVID now, and
I'm thinking it's moved its course through the Canuckleheads podcast, and we're back in action.
I think we should be back to our consistent schedules. Sorry for like coughing and stuff too. It's still bugging both of us a little bit still. Yeah. So I will get to my tweet of the week here, which, speaking of COVID, this is from Rob Williams at Rob the Hockey Guy. And this was when Pearson got put into COVID protocol. Did we mention that?
I don't think we did, honestly. But it's just been such a COVID mess. Like, now we're finally getting Bo back. We're finally getting Demko back. We finally got Halak back. So, I mean, Pearson just gets lost in the sauce there.
We can talk about that too. So, Pearson went into protocol, I can't remember which game it was.
Like 2 games ago.
But the way our schedule is too, like, he's probably not playing until the 8th.
Yeah.
When the Canucks are back home against Arizona. Because if he goes to Chicago or whenever he's out of protocol and tests positive, he's going to be there forever.
Yeah.
So
he won't be on the road.
So the smart thing is the Canucks to just leave him at home, I guess.
Yeah.
And they only played 2 games this week anyway, so outside of the game tonight.
As long as we got Bo back, I don't even care.
Yeah. So, Rob Williams at Rob the Hockey Guy. Pearson is the 20th Canuck player to enter COVID-19 protocol since December 14th.
Isn't that disgusting?
Basically the whole team and me and Wes.
Yeah.
So, running rampant in the Canucks locker room with COVID.
Yeah.
But that'll do it for this week's episode. Good to be back. It's weird now having a random break from doing this. You kind of get used to it. Every Saturday we kind of plan around this. And
it's been definitely weird, especially missed because Justin had it, then we got one in, then missed because I had it. Now it's back to that consistency.
Let's go over before we end here. Actually, this will be hopefully a one-time thing, but like both our experiences in getting COVID. So I'll go first because I had it first. So I got sick the first Tuesday of the month.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna check my phone here. The 4th. I tested positive in the afternoon. I believe it was.
Which is like right after we shot the pod. So I was like, maybe I'm going to get it right away here.
And then, so that morning I woke up, I had a headache. I didn't feel great. Just got progressively worse. I had a headache for about 4 days. It was like a bad cold, but like 25% worse than that.
Yeah.
And I was just exhausted. I'd sleep in my bed till whenever I felt like waking up and moving to my couch to fall asleep watching a movie.
Yeah.
And that was basically like my 4 days. I was just exhausted. And then after that, it's just like a minor cold, like lots of coughing, stuffy nose, not feeling great, but not like super shitty.
Yeah.
Just I couldn't go to work. That was my first time really having to like isolate where it's like you can't leave your house. And I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, it's not fun, that's for sure. And I had a similar experience where it started off pretty mild. Like, even when I was going to drive to work, I was already like halfway there. And I was like, I better turn around. I knew we had COVID tests at home because my lady had just tested positive before that. So I was like, let me just go take a test and see, just because I wasn't feeling good. Had a sore throat, stuff like that. And then I tested, sure enough, positive. So then I was like, well, better call work. Called my boss, just like, yeah, I'm not feeling too bad, but I did test positive. So then each day just got worse and worse and worse. And it was almost like 3 different sicknesses, like head cold / fever. And then that went away. And then it was just a head cold. Then it went into the bad cough. So it's been crappy, but now we're out of that. We both kind of got the COVID cough a little bit. But
can't shake a cough.
yeah, but I mean, at least we're feeling good. We're not contagious or any crap like that. So we can continue to do the pod and do what we love. So
yeah, and yeah, like I don't want to do the isolating thing ever. Like that sucked. Not being able to leave. Like I
can't go to the grocery store. Nothing.
Yeah, like I live in an apartment complex. Like so, I'm not gonna be an idiot and like walk down the hallways and stuff. Like,
just spread it.
Like I don't know who lives here. Like if there's old people or anything like that. So it's like like to not leave. It was horrendous, and I was definitely started to lose my mind a little bit towards the end of it. But
yeah, you start getting the Uber Eats on speed dial or the skip the dishes on speed dial because you can't leave the house, right? So I was definitely just 5 guys in it up, and you know how it is. But and that's one thing I was happy about. It did not lose my appetite. Like I was still hungry the whole time, like eating every day, which helps fight off the sickness, keep that immune system going. So.
I wasn't really super high. I'd have like once a day I would get hungry.
That's it,
and then, and then I would have like a little snack here or there because I knew I like had to have something. Or but yeah, it sucked a lot. And it's not like people think like, oh, you don't have to go to work for a week or whatever. But it was not fun. Like I wasn't sitting here playing video games. I was.
You can't even. For 2 days, 3 days there, I was just like, I can barely put something on TV. Yeah. Like my dog had to go to the washroom, and I'm just like, oh my god, how am I gonna pull this off? Like this is brutal.
Yeah, I have to stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to share our experiences with that. Like I think you and I have both been pretty vocal that we're both vaccinated, and like go get vaccinated because COVID sucks. I'm double vaccinated. It fucked me up.
Yeah, me too. And think if we weren't, maybe it would have been worse, right? So it's just. Be cautious, get the vax, just be safe out there.
Yep. So yeah, that'll do it for episode 17. There's some real talk with Justin and Wes.
Yes, sir.
If you like what you saw, please subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube.
All that good stuff. Another one in the bag, brother.
Nailed it.
Still got it.